This is QTV Nightly News coming to you live from our studios on Karaba Avenue, and I am Jenna Wasonko. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. President Barrow received the credentials of ambassadors of 3 countries, including the new British High Commissioner, today, Wednesday. In a milestone development, the Gambia Teachers Union Cooperative Credit Union has inaugurated its conference centre, a complex that is set to be one of the major destinations for the hosting of events in the West Coast region. The Point newspaper celebrated its 32nd anniversary on December 15, 2023, having been founded on December 16, 1991. Mahmoud Sabali, the campaign manager of the opposition United Democratic Party, has resigned from the party. Now, in international news, 4 Senegalese soldiers were killed in Casamance when their vehicle struck an anti-tank mine in the southern region, which has been gripped by a separatist rebellion. Now, those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you so much for joining us. You're watching QTV News, and I am Jenna Basonko. Now, President Barrow received the credentials of ambassadors of 3 countries, including the new British High Commissioner, today, Wednesday. Alu Sise has the rest of that story.
At the State House in Banjul, President Barrow separately welcomed and received the credentials of 3 new ambassadors to the Gambia: Mohammed Ali Salim Ali Al-Kawari of the State of Qatar, Hamoud Abdi of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, and Harriet King, the British High Commissioner. Speaking to the press shortly after separate closed-door talks with the Gambia's president, they said they are determined and ready to further strengthen the cooperation between Banjul and their respective countries.
So we discussed the very deep and strong historic relationship that the Gambia has with the United Kingdom. And we focused on the support that we will continue to offer in defence, the partnerships between our 2 armed forces. We also discussed how we will explore where we can further enhance the relationship between our 2 education sectors and the importance of improving education for the Gambia. We also talked about the continuing work that the United Kingdom will do on human rights, including on supporting the justice sector and TRRC. And we briefly discussed the continued support that we continue to offer to the health sector. Climate change was a further area where we will do all we can to enhance our support. And lastly, on tourism, given the large numbers of British nationals that both live and travel to the Gambia. So those were some of the key areas where the UK will continue and hope to strengthen its support to the Gambia.
The meeting with President Barrow was preceded by a similar engagement with the Gambia's Foreign Minister, Dr. Mamadou Tangara. The Gambia had and continues to enjoy cordial ties with the UK, Qatar and Mauritania. These envoys want to explore more areas of cooperation. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alu Sise.
Wishing them all a successful time in the Gambia. Now, in a milestone development, the Gambia Teachers Union Cooperative Credit Union has inaugurated its conference centre, a complex that is set to be one of the major destinations for hosting of events in the West Coast region. As QTV's Mamadou Lamin Choi reports, the conference centre is named after the former general manager of the credit union, who is the current Minister of Trade.
Standing tall at the heart of Birkama is a magnificent new 3-story building, built by the Gambia Teachers Union Cooperative Credit Union. This momentous occasion pays tribute to its former general manager, whose legacy and dedicated 26 years of service as GTU-CCU general manager contributed to shaping a progressive future for the credit union until his ministerial appointment last year. Invited as the chief guest of honor, the former GTU-CCU general manager is both honored and surprised at witnessing this building being named after him.
My legacy, perhaps I should be proud of the fact that I left more than 2,000 teachers with plots of land ready to be built. That for me was request number 1 by a member at Gambia College in 1997, 1 year after we operated. Somebody came up and said, we cannot have homes as teachers. Hope this credit union one day will give us homes. We have.
This three-story building has 3 halls, each equipped and well-furnished to accommodate at least 300 people. Located in the commercial town of Brikama, it is expected to be a major conference destination in the West Coast region, offering valuable services. Dauda Kujabi, the General Manager of the GTU-CCU, Esa South, the Deputy General Secretary of the Gambia Teachers Union, and the Chairman of the Brikama Area Council, respectively, talk about the potential benefits of this conference center.
The hall is built to accommodate conferences, workshops, meetings, wedding, and any form of gathering that will add value and add flair to the people of Brikama. It is also annexed with a restaurant. During conferences, people will also visit those restaurants.
Moreover, in alignment with the principles of the Gambia Teachers Union Cooperative Credit Union, this center will not only be a space for intellectual growth, but also a symbol of financial empowerment. By providing a platform for financial literacy programs, investment workshops, and credit union services,
I'm indeed proud to say that we have added an infrastructural development to the region and the capital of our region, West Coast. And I believe from henceforth, when people come to our council and looking for somewhere to hold conferences, whether international or anything of that nature, we'll be glad to direct them to this direction.
This modern complex is the result of the contribution of the 46,000 members of the Gambia Teachers Union Cooperative Credit Union across the country, most of whom are teachers. The Gambia Teachers Union Cooperative Credit Union was established in 1996 and today is praised as one of the fastest growing cooperatives in the Gambia. Owned and operated by its members, it serves as a source of financial support and enables them to control their own financial destiny. Mahmoud Lamin, QTV News.
Significant milestone there. Congratulations to the members. Now, the Point newspaper celebrated its 32nd anniversary on December 15, 2023. Having been founded on December 16, 1991, the paper, known for its dynamic stance in advocating democracy in the Gambia, also paid tribute to late co-founders Babukar Gaye and Deda Haidara, who was assassinated in 2001 by the junglers of former dictator Yahya Jammeh under orders of the then president. Ibrahim Balde has the rest of that story.
Papsen, a multi-award-winning veteran journalist and another of the paper's co-founder, highlighted the struggles in establishing the paper, expressing commitment to making it more accessible.
It was not an easy task to establish a paper in the Gambia because a lot of constraints of printing materials and orders. But in 1991, I myself, late Deda Haidara and Babukar Gaye decided to establish a paper called The Point to fill a vacuum which was necessary to strengthen our democracy.
The president of the Gambia Press Union, Mohamed Esbah, termed the move to a digital platform as a milestone, acknowledging the founders' contributions.
Deda Haidara was a great person, great personality. He was definitely a beacon of hope in terms of media, fighting for press freedom and freedom of expression. He was definitely a catalyst towards standing for the truth and speaking to power, truth to power. So Uncle Deda, indeed, he is an exceptional human being. And he also contributed to the development of the Gambia Press Union. He was the second president of the Gambia Press Union.
Baba Haidara, son of the late Deda Haidara, commended the paper's consistency in promoting democracy despite past challenges. Baba Haidara says the legacy of his father, Deda Haidara, lives on.
The Point newspaper continues to defend human rights, promote democracy, rule of law, and good governance. In our quest for justice for my father, I can confirm today that one of his murderers, by law, was convicted to life imprisonment in Germany just recent, and we would continue to push to finally have our day in court with the man who gave the order to assassinate my dad, Yahya Jammeh, inshallah.
The Point newspaper was founded by Papsen Deda Haidara and Babukar Gay. Papsen also worked as a Reuters correspondent for West Africa. During the first 2 years of its establishment, the paper came out every Monday, and then every Monday and Thursday. In 1995, the paper came out twice weekly, and then 4 times a week in 2001, on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. In 2016, the paper became a daily newspaper. Ibrahim Abalde, QTV News.
Elsewhere, Mamadou Sabali, the campaign manager of the opposition United Democratic Party, in a widely circulated letter says he has resigned from the party. Now, this is a developing story, and we hope to bring you more details in a future bulletin. From that, we will go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we have some more stories for you. Do stay with us.
For all your electronic cooking utensil needs, worry no more. Deka Killer Jongoma Kitchen is the solution. Deka Killer brings modern, efficient and affordable cooking materials such as gas cookers, heaters, coffee machines, fridges, ceiling and stand fans, among other valuable home and restaurant materials. Located at Serekunda Bambo opposite Sanchaba Garas, Deka Killer is making fun life easier by offering you guaranteed and cost-effective electronic cooking materials. You can contact us on 348-2307 or 728-5372. We are also on Facebook, Deka Killer The Gambia. Email dekakillergambia@gmail.com. Deka Killer Jongoma Kitchen is the solution for all your home appliances and electronic cooking utensil needs. Roast now, Deka Killer making fun life easier. Deka Killer, everything for cooking. Deka Killer is the right place to be.
The Ministry of Tourism and Culture, in partnership with the community of Janjanbureh, formerly known as Georgetown, commemorates its 200th anniversary from the 4th to the 7th of January 2024, marking 2 centuries of resilience, heritage and community spirit. Join us from the 4th to the 7th of January as we celebrate homecoming and Janjanbureh's vibrant culture and rich heritage. Let's rediscover the true essence and history of Janjanbureh through scholarly symposium, Kankurang Jamboree wrestling, poetry and theatre, river cruising, island tours and much more. Janjanbureh 200, celebrating 200 years of history, resilience and heritage. Join us from the 4th to the 7th January in Janjanbureh.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Jennifer Sonko. Now, the Society for the Study of Women's Health, in partnership with Kuntawu Area Council in the Central River Region North, have donated medical items to the Jilan Bakadaji Health Post in Nyanija. Our regional correspondent, Bakari Balde, attended the handing over ceremony, and this is his report.
The project is funded by the Canadian International Development Research Centre, IDRC. In line with its aim is to improve maternal health and access to maternal health services for pregnant women and nursing mothers. The donated medical items include a blood pressure machine, a blood sugar machine, and a variety of antibiotics. Aisha Tuba is from the Society for the Study of Women's Health.
The overall aim of the project is to study the effectiveness of training pregnant women and their husband on gender transformative approach to improve sexual, reproductive, and maternal health of pregnant women, and to promote the participation of husbands in activities preparing for delivery and ban complications in the Gambia. The specific objectives of the projects are to assess the attitude of norms of young couples regarding gender and the sexuality of women, to explore how such attitude and norms of young couples are manifested through GTA training and in their participation in the activities preparing for delivery and birth complications.
Maud Lamin Fofana, the regional health director in CRR, said a collective effort is needed to eradicate maternal mortality. As such, the support of partners is paramount.
Kuntaul, the theater there, we need to sit together, look at it, and then we see how best we can operationalize that place. So the combination of theater, transports, and then human resource, and also the drugs, that if you bring them together, then you can be able to fight maternal and infant mortality adequately. So these are some of the areas that I emphasize. We need to collaborate, because anybody who wants to come to support government or Ministry of Health in providing services and all, but they are welcome. We are not saying no to anybody, but let it be in the right way and manner, then we can achieve what we want.
Babakar A. Dabo, the officer in charge of the health post, outlined the challenges they faced and compliments the donors.
Only to thank them, because we cannot pay them. Somebody who brought this equipment for you, which are not, they are very expensive. So I just thank them. I cannot just pay, but I'm very happy with them as well. I just thank them. Thank you.
Galoba Silla, who spoke on behalf of the women, outlined numerous training courses previously organized by SSWH and further highlights how beneficial the donated items will be.
Because jata ken le anyonte anamadi yo baro be nyaaw nyande ma boro la taro jom kontan ko ne docteur baabe jaaya kat baake na jandi sainte ma pour muskono ma hay bata ku sor mi ngana fa saya be sabula otije.
Other speakers, including the VDC chairman and the Alcalos representative, commended the donors for the timely support and said their community being 7 kilometers up the main highway and considering the distance to the nearest health referral center, these medical items will greatly assist their needs at the health post. Bakari Balde, QTV News.
Canada-based Hope True Clothes, in collaboration with the Khadija Foundation, have provided 2 wells for the women vegetable gardeners of Mandinari. The move comes after the women lamented the scarcity of water for vegetable production. And Sumana Isonyasi has the rest of that story, but narrated by Elena Iigwenyiba.
This was the condition of the Mandinari 5-hectare garden 3 months ago, which was nearly abandoned for lack of water. Established in the 1980s, this garden was where hundreds of women toiled to earn a living. Today, the garden is regaining its glory. The presentation of the 2 wells follows a similar gesture in September this year when the women pleaded for 2 extra wells. Mohamed F. Jabi, the vice president of Khadija Foundation, commended Gambian women for their hard work.
And let's be very frank, look at the number of women in Mandinari and the surrounding villages that are working in this garden. The vegetables that they are producing from here as food, as source of income for their families, to educate their children, and also to have a better life. But look at the kind of wealth that they are having here. We were here some 3 months ago, and they requested for 1, and they were given to them. But considering the size of the garden area, they requested for another 2. And all these sponsors are coming through Hope True Clothes in Canada. But this time, it has come through them, but various families listen to the previous audios that we are sent and videos sent to them. They realize that these people really need help. Without water, there's nothing that they can do. You cannot have a garden of this size, and someone have to move from one end to another end.
Mariama Cham, the village alcalo's wife, says the water will make their work easier and faster.
These wells are very beneficial to us because we have been facing water shortages. Now, we can come early and water our vegetables and go home to cook for our families. We are so happy that our crops will grow well. We thank the sponsors and may Allah bless them.
Jata Marong, Mandinari Garden Women's President, is delighted.
The women have been complaining about the lack of water in this garden. We used to come here in the morning and spend the whole day looking for water. We are delighted that we will now have enough time to work here and also do our household chores without worry. Gardening is very beneficial to us because we pay our children's school fees from it. Men cannot provide everything for their wives, so we are the ones in the gardens.
The Vice Chairman of Khadija Foundation, Mohamed F. Jabi, underscores the importance of helping Gambian women.
If the women of this country have stopped working in their gardens and pulled down all their farming tools, Gambia will not only be hungry, but we will be starved as a nation. It's the women that are running this country, and that we must respect that and give them all what they need is borehole and wells. And I think those things, the Gambians together, we can do it. We are proud of the sponsors for the wonderful work that they are doing. This is the 14th project of water that they have done in the Gambia here. And there are still more that they intend to do. And we pray for them. We'll ask them again to continue to help the women, particularly the women of the Gambia.
For now, these women are celebrating the coming of these wells. However, considering the size of the garden, they are hoping for more water projects to further ease their work to earn a living. Ansumana Isonyasi for KTV News.
From that story by Ansumana Isonyasi, let's take a look at news beyond our borders. Four Senegalese soldiers were killed in Casamance when their vehicle struck an anti-tank mine in the southern region, which has been gripped by a separatist rebellion since the 1980s. Lena Igwenyiba has the rest of that story.
As reported by the Senegalese army, the incident unfolded during a mission on Thursday in North Bignona, near the Gambian border, resulting in 3 additional injuries, as revealed by the Directorate of Public Relations of the Armed Forces (DIPA) in a press release on X, formerly Twitter. President Macky Sall, also on X, paid tribute to the fallen soldiers, acknowledging their sacrifice on the field of honor. The army has been engaged in security operations against rebels from the Movement of Democratic Forces of Casamance, MFDC, advocating for the independence of this border region bordering the Gambia and Guinea-Bissau. Casamance has been marred by one of the oldest rebellions in Africa since the underground movement began with rudimentary weapons after the repression of an MFDC march in December 1982. Despite causing significant casualties and economic devastation, the conflict has persisted, with the last reported military casualty in January 2023. Senegalese authorities have been actively resettling displaced individuals in recent years, following the destruction of several rebel bases, particularly along the Guinea-Bissau border. In April 2022, the conflict spilled over into the Gambia, leading to families being temporarily displaced. President Macky Sall has said he has prioritized peace in Casamance. However, despite several peace agreements, including one in August 2022, the situation remains complex and lasting resolutions have proved elusive. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Igwenyiba.
From that story by Lena Igwenyiba, let's recap our main headlines. President Barrow received the credentials of ambassadors of 3 countries, including the new British High Commissioner, today, Wednesday. In a milestone development, the Gambia Teachers Union Cooperative Credit Union has inaugurated its conference center, a complex that is set to be one of the major destinations for the hosting of events in the West Coast region. The Point newspaper celebrated its 32nd anniversary on December 15, 2023, having been founded on December 16, 1991. Mamadou Sabali, the campaign manager of the opposition United Democratic Party, has resigned from the party. In international news, 4 Senegalese soldiers were killed in Casamance when their vehicle struck an anti-tank mine in the southern region, which has been gripped by a separatist rebellion. And before we close, a correction in yesterday's story on the commissioning of the vessels by President Barrow. In the story, the current Spanish embassy's charter affairs was incorrectly shown with the name of the previous holder of that office. The current holder is Violeta Insa Sandoval. Well, that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin, and do not forget to tune in for an interesting episode of Youth Dialogue. Thanks for joining us.